Hello, welcome. It's episode 280 of VarangianLP. Hope you are good, the internet. And we have a brand new, awesome game tonight. Huzzah. We're on Discord, so my shit is a little funky looking on the camera, but that's okay. We're out here, and we're doing the goddamn thing. All right. So oh yeah, let me unmute the other people. That would help. Oh, let me actually capture Discord instead of Google Call. The layers, when something goes slightly different, the layers of things you have to change. Okay, you all should be audible now.
The American version of Shiva from Final Fantasy would use donut dust instead of diamond dust, and you can't prove me wrong, Internet.
Okay.
Hi.
You might be right.
I feel very confident. Excuse me, I have to go pick up my GoPro.
I wish you. Excuse me, I have to piss my. I have to shit my pants.
I have to go shit my pants. Yeah. Just don't shit anyone else's pants, and you're fine. That's the rule.
It'd be really funny if you could like shit someone else's pants, like through some sort of magical physics sort of thing. Where it's like that.
I mean, yeah, I feel like there should be a wizard subclass about that, maybe.
Like you create a portal from your butthole to theirs, so you get to yourself, but now their pants are shitted.
Wow.
Which
that sounds like something Rick would do. He probably has done that.
That really does sound like something Rick would do.
Oh, you want to know how I shit your pants? Well, I built a portal from my butthole to your pants. What are you going to do about it?
Pants, you son of a whore.
He would have said it funnier and more technically than I did, though. Okay. We're missing a few people, but that's okay. We're still here. That's why I've called this session 0.5. It's like a session 0, but also not, because I didn't actually plan session 0-y stuff. So let us get into it, unless someone else wants to say something off topic. Final call. I think we're locked in.
I was giving Tom priority because our side of the table already did it.
No, I'm just good to go.
Yep, we're locked in. We want to fight these zombies. All right. So, 10 years ago, undead and fiends have poured into this plane from another place. After initially slaughtering and capturing the people of the land, mortal armies have organized and assembled, holding the tide partially at bay. The war is relentless, and the people of this realm are losing ground. They look to a higher power for aid, but no direct celestial intervention seems to arrive. The only divine aid comes from the faith of the most devout individuals who can manifest their God's powers. So you have noble houses who lead their forces, as is their tradition. But there are also many free city-states that bring mercenaries and barbarian forces from the lawless lands. Everyone must work together, for the entire land is being torn apart. The leadership of many disparate forces sometimes disagree, but the situation requires some amount of cooperation. Some will struggle to get along. Sometimes old rivalries will lead to infighting. But the truly noble are able to set aside, not like noble the family, but the virtue, are able to leave that aside and work together. There are also a number of guilds that assemble experts in a field who have limited military forces of their own. But with that, we will move to a scene. Or actually, I will have a question for each person. What, before the events of this game, you were with some sort of military unit. Describe what that was like, or like what who the group was made up of, what type of people they were, and things along that nature.
So, I've got one for that. So Sir Edgar Murray spent roughly the last year as a member of the 1st Penitence Battalion. Essentially, all prisoners sentenced to do frontline fighting as an alternative to serving out their prison sentence. Because of various things in his past that I'll eventually get into, he was selected more easily to be promoted out of the unit into the not immediate cannon fodder part of the military. Still cannon fodder, but obviously less cannon fodder than the guy who was previously on death row. Sir Edgar was not on death row, I need to be clear.
More expensive cannon fodder.
Yes. The kind of fodder you give a non-rusty weapon to. Which, in this point in the war, 10 years in, I feel like that's saying something.
And were those noble forces, free forces, a mix?
Noble forces in the sense that they were let out of penitentiaries that were
right.
owned or supervised by nobles, and in the sense that Sir Edgar was previously a noble, but not noble in the sense that members of the nobility were involved.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. What about one of the others?
So Skarsmard, or Scar as most would know him, was most recently, he was part of basic not sure if Vanguard is the right but basically he was part of sort of a detachment of a guard unit for a medical hospital, where they were just kind of in charge of protecting this sort of rear flank that's typically kind of more of a safer, sort of far back sort of part. So he absolutely hated this assignment. But just before being reassigned, the lines were overrun. And sort of before the undead really come, the noble of this detachment, because he throughout his career, he hasn't served under any free. It's pretty much all been under noble houses, even though he's not in a noble house by any means, but he fights under them. Because they're the most organized in his opinion. So it makes the most logical sense to be with the guys who can hit the hardest. But with that, sort of the person in charge really wanted to just kind of pull out early. But even though they had people on the ground that were injured and couldn't be evacuated, and Scar had a different opinion, voiced that, and kind of disregarded what happened, what the order was given, and that resulted in the people being saved. And it was very embarrassing for the noble. So it was kind of it was sort of, you can't deny it was a good thing, but you also can't reward behavior like that. So you need to be moved to a different location, sort of out of sight.
Promoted, of course.
Yeah. and punished at the same time. But part of the thing was that the view was that he was being very noble and trying to prevent these people from being killed, saving. But really, in his mind, what he was he saw these bodies on the ground as just they're going to turn into the undead. It's just fueling. So it's like the most logical sense, was to stay. It wasn't really any compassionate viewpoint, but it was viewed that way. So it's kind of, he's been given a lot more praise, which he hates because it doesn't really match what he was trying to accomplish. Like he's like, oh, they could have died. Like that wouldn't have mattered. If they died the right way and they didn't come back up, that's fine, whatever. But it worked out.
You're turning into like Captain America when he was doing a stage show, and you're like, no, I want to fight the Nazis.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, you're so great.
Man, I'll kick you in the nuts. Shut the fuck up with that. Let me fight a zombie.
They're like, you're so good at fighting, we're going to put you even further back from the front line.
I will even spoil your teeth, you son of a bitch.
And June, what do you think Furia was doing, or what were the people she was around before this campaign?
If you'll permit the addition of the keyword, or if you want to name them yourself, I envision myself having grown up amongst during the conquests of Odin in Jotunheim. Many people, many warriors had orphans made as they fell gloriously in battle, and she was brought up in a legion of mortals and would then ascend to the state of a Valkyrie under Odin's grace, largely conducting herself as a leader of mortals themselves, but flying along with her battle sisters to enact his will upon the 9 realms, as it were. And that the people for whom she served as a mortal were those. I don't know if you can. Is the, like we talked about on Monday? Is the vowel E? Is it an or is it an E?
It's what?
Because the
vowel.
The vowel.
Furia.
Right? So, no, the letter E. Is it like so? The term I'm going to use is Breitagard, unless it's Breitagard.
It would be the first one.
Breitagard. And I served specifically a powerful mortal warrior who is said to have no fear. Her name being, I guess it's a J, so it's soft, right? So it'd be Maya. Maja.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think so, because he told me that fear. Okay, well then it could be Maya. Okay, well, you tell me. Yeah. So basically, I had previously spent my initial mortal life serving in Odin's legions. I see. Well, then the most recent that I served with, I guess I can say that I sought to return to them when I fell from grace, I suppose. After the events that occurred in my past, I probably, after descending, sought out Maya and her people, and now as a life cleric to Freya. And I have probably I have seeing the great damage that has befallen the land to these undead fiends, etc. I have taken it upon myself to be a wandering healer, and I did not, after healing their most recent battle wounds with the grace of Maya, I basically asked her if, as like my former, commanding officer, basically, I was like, I wish to continue my work elsewhere where I am needed. And she says like it is, something to the effect of like, it is not my, fallen or not, I am, too lowly a soul to tell a Valkyrie where to go and where to be. You have, you have my what the frick am I looking for? It's like there's a term for this where it's like
You have my leave.
leave. Thank you,
Leave.
Rob. You have my leave to go do the works of Freya.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
my question was, what kind of people were you around, and what were they like right before this?
I thought I answered. Okay.
Okay, sorry. I heard you leaving a group. I just wasn't sure about the... Never mind.
Okay,
I
so-
probably misunderstood.
So what I was saying is, after the events of my backstory that you and I both know, I descended back to the realm of mortals and sought out my previous companions and compatriots among Maya, the hero of Breitagard, knowing that they could use my help, and that if nothing else, I would find, kin and comfort with these people. So I basically went back to the people that I served
Okay.
with before I sent.
Okay, so you're saying those were the people.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, essentially, they were the only mortals that I had connections to. So upon my return, it made no go anywhere. I sought out the only people I knew.
Mm-hmm.
After 300 plus years of being in immortal service, going back to, this, you go where you go where you know, I guess.
Do you think they were free folk or nobility forces?
My conception of this legion is that it was largely made up of like essentially houseless orphans. So,
Oh, okay.
like,
that
in
would
my-
end up falling under mercenary.
Yeah, I could. So they are kind of how I was connected to Odin, and I suppose on some level it's kind of remarkable that Maya would give me that leave, having now serving a new god. I suppose. I guess she sort of says, as mortals, we don't really get to, we don't always get
Yeah.
to choose whose light shines upon us, kind of thing.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
so
they were good, strong warriors who
yeah,
fight and nail against the legions of the Hellmans.
hmm
They do not
So-
fear death.
well, there's so the oh, sorry, did you have more?
I was going to say they do not fear death, but like all mortals in this conflict, they are wary to be turned against their fellows should they fall in battle in the wrong place.
Mm-hmm.
But, sort of borrowing from the card art and the flavor that Maya, Breachingard,
Something-
and the hero, where I get the feeling like these people, like, they phalanx up, they do that sword on shield stuff, they do that, like,
Mhm.
they protect each other, they have shield guards, all that kind of stuff. So I would argue that they fall in battle no less often than any other mortal legion.
Something really loud is happening in your guys' room.
Sorry.
Rob's playing around with dice.
Sorry, I was looking for a D8. My bad.
That's okay.
Didn't realize.
Yeah, no
I
problem.
know it can be. When I put some dice into a plastic cup a couple of months ago, you were like, I could not hear anything you said. Is that sufficient? I know it's a lot.
All right, so whoever you were fighting alongside most recently, the wherever you were, the enemies pushed to your position, and you firsthand experienced the stench of strange biles and poisons, and the splattering of blood everywhere, and the demons you're fighting. Sometimes they're often as likely to strike another demon as they are immortal, and they don't care. They love the carnage. Many of the undeads are more brainless and well, they're all soulless, but the undeads shamble and have nothing behind their eyes, and it's a different flavor, but just as horrifying. You see many folk die horrible, screaming deaths, and there's dirt and grime everywhere, and each of you separately, there was a moment where you heard an eerie whistling noise through the air, and then suddenly the loudest sound you've ever heard, and fire all around you, and everything goes black. So you were all nearly killed in artillery strikes. And if anyone knows the sound I'm talking about of an artillery shell falling, it is one of the it's a very freaky noise and thing to experience. One of my favorite games has a lot of artillery in it. So when you hear that noise, you're like, oh crap, I gotta get out of here.
It's one of the noises in life that most indicates you are fucked.
Yeah.
You are fucked.
So, after this harrowing experience, somehow you each managed to survive. And you slowly come to consciousness. Let me make sure this map is set up right. Yeah, you slowly come to consciousness and find yourselves lying in beds. And near you in 3 other beds are 3 really cool looking dudes who will stay unconscious for the whole session. Yes, these 3 people with suspiciously good character art will are laying next to you unconscious in this room you're in. And you can hear quiet talking, and some snoring. And as you look around the room, you kind of just see what's here before you. A number of tattered people who appear injured, and there are people laying everywhere injured, and a healer of the House of Light is speaking to an injured guard. Yeah, you have each now gained consciousness. You have 1 HP. But you are able to do everything you normally can. But you're just very injured still right now. So yeah, like you're allowed, you're able to get up and do whatever if you want, or you can call someone over. Anyway, sorry, I'll just let you all decide.
just need control of my character whenever.
Oh yeah,
you're
I
ready.
didn't give control to anyone yet. That's fine. We got this.
It's all good. It's all good. And then I can set up all of my. Yep, there we are. And I can set up all of my things. I do love how my token is oriented so that the sword points straight down. Like, I don't know if that was intentional, but thank you for that. Let's see here. So, green bar is going to be HP. I'm at 115. Bar is.
Give yourself a good old blue bar.
Bar, I'll make my precise stripes. And I'll make the red one with the long hands. I just like in my mind the Pokemon like emergency noise when you're at 1 HP plays. And as Sir Edgar slowly comes to consciousness and quietly and discreetly puts his mask back over his face, this is probably the third. Why am I a dinosaur 420? Edgar absolutely has PTSD. I will say that that's free lore for everyone. No question. He slowly slides on his mask. Presumably, he's done this every time he's halfway come to consciousness since he's been put in this hospital. There's a poor hospitalier who has been frustratedly removing it every 6.5 hours or so. And he just says a silent prayer to Tyr, thanking him for allowing him to live another day. And then just kind of sits up on the bed and begins surveying his surroundings.
It's probably about that time that you would see that despite some aches and pains that she has, this woman that you in the cloak is already performing medicine checks on the others who are in the room. Since that's a good way mathematically to not burn spell slots to heal people.
That's a smart lady.
I will roll as many medicine checks as is required.
Well,
if I'm not trained in medicine, do you allow assisting?
I'm gonna say with certain types of skills, I'll allow assisting if you're not trained, but with more technical things, I'll say no. But also in this case, I won't even. Well, yeah. I guess you can roll.
Okay.
I'm saying for June. Would it be more fun for you to roll checks on this, or can I just do a generalized answer?
I will do one of these.
Oh, okay, yeah. Actually, yeah, just roll one, and based on that, or yeah, what I would have said was roll one, and based on that, I'll figure it out. Okay, but with the natural 20, the first roll is a natural 20. Let's fucking go.
Good fucking omen, June.
You almost have you can almost just magically feel how much life is left in each person here. It's like you're like sensing their force auras, sort of like a Jedi, and you can see just exactly how close to death each one is, or like you can just immediately sense it without hardly even checking very much. The people all here are they're all stable right now. But they all were injured to a point. And I mean, a healing potion for any of these people and any of you would have healed you more than even you're healed now, which is a bit curious. That it seems as though everyone here is okay, but they could be better. And that's a little unusual, I guess, is to have so many people like infirm.
Sir Edgar has been kind of leaning on his shield, watching Furia kind of move around the room, and he makes just a single note in his notebook that just says triage.
I'll probably mutter something to each of them to the effect of, may the light of Freya guide you and keep you safe. Maybe put a little bit of that oil on their forehead, kind of deal.
You anoint the wounded.
As he sees you doing, go ahead. No, I've done stuff. You've got priority.
Well, Scar is just gonna sort of as he comes to sort of what you would see just a kind of very standard clothed with no sleeves, but there's kind of a bunch of bandages that are kind of cut away, and sort of dirty old bandages are kind of cast to the floor near him, and then his face has they freshly bandaged up something that was already previously very well bandaged, which is his whole head. But as he kind of comes to and sort of sees where everything is, he kind of curses the fact that he's still alive instead of couldn't have actually taken me this time, God, and sort of lays back into the bed and just kind of remains. He's observing what the other two are doing, but he's still very much not really stirred physically. He's just observing from the bed.
So after watching Furia kind of wander around and just trying to anoint these people with oil, Sir Edgar slowly lumbers over to you, opens his palm, and offers you a vial of holy water. And he doesn't say anything. He merely kind of tilts his head like he's doing the no face, take.
Let me check. I have a priest pack. Do I have one of those?
You do have one of those, then. We both started with a priest pack. Neat.
Oh, I've got a monster pack, too.
Fucking jelly.
I would
Because of
probably,
your background, yeah.
see, I would sort of raise up the this one. Like, no need. But your offer is greatly appreciated and will be noted.
He nods, bows slightly, and kind of just steps back and continues watching you work for a minute before eventually realizing that Scar is awake, and he goes over and introduces.
Before you do, are you cool with me anointing your mask?
Absolutely. He nods and kind of bows.
But a moment. May the light of Freya protect you.
Oh, Jason's in the chat. He says that hairy dude looks really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Jason?
That's okay.
Why have I a dinosaur as Jason? Okay.
That's all right. That explains it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. Let's
the 420 is what gives it away, though.
It's subtle like a brick through a window. More the let's LFG. Goddamn. I do adore that he confirms it. So at this point, Sir Edgar kind of walks over and goes, "Greetings, brother warrior. I am Sir Edgar Murray, a penitent of Tyr. I apologize if you find me to be non-conversational. Other than this sentence and the previous one explaining myself, I may only speak in prayer."
This literally reminds me of that Family Guy bit.
That's where I got it.
Awesome.
That was exactly what I was channeling when that was.
Oh my god, you speak English? No, just that sentence and this one explaining it. You're serious.
But instead, he would just tilt his head in response, like, "You didn't get it?"
So it's like Scar will kind of sort of tilts his head, kind of cock it like a chicken, kind of look, and then like all right, I'm Skarsmard McKay. Yeah, you can call me Scar, or I don't know what I don't know what scripture would have my name in it that you can utilize if that's how is this gonna work? You just see like this, like somebody who's been very like stoic and kind of like very still, like all of the people who like have been changing his, like we're imagining what he was gonna be and how gruff, and then just kind of this, he's just very curious, like, like what's the next sentence that comes?
Edgar nods, produces a small notepad and an ink pen, and scribbles down on it. Well, we have two options. I can use notes, or do you speak sign language?
um
And then underneath he, and then he just whispers a prayer. Tyr, please let this one be literate.
and so he kind of like will read it over, and then kind of pausing, you see his hand, like when you look at his hands, you'll notice that they're just very heavily scarred, with like burn scars all the way up, pretty much going all the way up to where you see clothes. Like you don't see an end to the burn, but then you see other like heavy scarring on top of that, like just very, but he will then, utilizing what he had been trained since, he had the thing about him is that he's had like a very like had an attitude and a mouth, and people are kind of like, how the hell has he been able to stay in this military and like moving through? And then you actually meet the monks that trained him, and they're all like mute, like they don't, none of them, they're all deaf, so they can't hear like him, like he's just talking, he's been talking to himself the whole time, like it's like he's so used to not having, oh, what's the coda, a child, yeah, so it's just like he's so he'll do a sign to you going, we'll be able to make this work. Like,
And he stows his sword and puts his shield down, and he signs back, excellent. The only other person who has understood me previously is, and he gestures to the unconscious hobgoblin, and he goes, and I don't think he understands me as well as I would hope.
right. I guess I only need to understand signing. I don't need to sign to you. Like you can understand.
No, out loud. That's actually, I kind of dig the idea of everyone just responding to it like it's conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like Star Wars
language. Exactly.
While you guys are doing this, I'm just gonna note that I'm probably now doing my second round and checking for things that can be mended.
Nice.
Since I can do that as well.
Hell yeah, having 7 cantrips rules.
Oh yeah.
Do you,
right.
Then, yeah.
I feel pretty close to death. How do you feel? Do you feel recovered? This hospital, I think, has a very low rating.
And he makes a series of signs that convey this is a bullshit triage clinic. They can.
No, I mean, it's an officially sanctioned clinic of the House of Light. The symbol is on the ground, and both of you are members of it.
This is more of a triage clinic.
Just reminding you. But, like, if you want to talk shit about your own organization, I get it. because I've worked for
I mean-
places before. I'm just saying,
It wouldn't be out
depending
of
on
character. But
depending on how your
Okay.
character, I just want to give that context depending on how your character feels about that organization.
it would be clear what establishment.
And there's
you're in.
also the person running it, or the person tending to these people standing 5 feet from you. So that's another thing. But again, if you all don't care, I'm okay with that. I just want to make sure reality is understood.
Thank you for catching me there.
Good.
He
Stay
finds out essentially this is a triage clinic. They essentially they can't afford health potions for enough health potions to go around right now. And he puts his hand on your shoulder and dumps 3 of his lay on hands points into you.
Dang, okay.
So you're now at 4 instead of 1 health.
Selfless.
I'm the tank of the party today.
He goes and provides the rest to Furia.
I was gonna say I've got my own hands I can use on myself, but I don't think it doesn't work like your abilities, right? Because I guess I have 2 distinct D4s, or is it just the one time 2D4? Because that's what PB is.
I think it's one. I think it's 2 uses of 1d4 healing.
Is it Azamar or Azamar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Azamar, I think, is just one use.
Well,
I'm pretty sure.
What I remember is
Oh wait,
the 2014 version, and in that version,
it's different.
I remember it being 1 point of healing for each level, and you could use like healing hands, so it split them up. But 2024 is probably different, I'm guessing, and that's what we're using for tonight.
Creature.
I'm checking right
Yeah,
now.
you roll 2d. So you roll based on your proficiency bonus, but it's only once. Once you use it, you can't use it again until you've done
okay.
a long rest. So
Okay.
it's 2d4s you can put in as an action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So as you level up, you get more d4s with your proficiency bonus.
It's unfortunate I can't split my stuff up the way that Sir Edgar can. I do have Healing Word, which would allow me to heal 1 person.
I was gonna say I wouldn't complain.
Well, yeah,
But
and
if
also going back a little bit, June, there's not really anything you can do for these people. They just have to recover. They just need rest right now, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about us PCs? Is my question.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can use healing. You were just saying, yeah, I thought you were saying you were trying to attend to the NPCs a minute ago. But yeah, you can heal each other for sure.
So
And
I'm at
yourselves.
Scar's at 4 HP and you're at 3 HP.
Is it 3 that I'm at? Okay.
Yep, because
So he bumped you up.
Of course, like I said, it's important to be selfless.
I missed that.
Heck yeah.
Okay, well, 2 first level slots, and I am a healer, so I guess I can Healing Word both of you guys. I mean, it's an above table question, but because the others aren't here, I mean, should I just focus on us because we were here?
I would say absolutely.
For the moment, yeah. I think, there's probably a chance they'll have some heals between them as well.
And if, heaven forbid, the line is broken through during this session tonight, it will be better that we have HP. Rob said fearfully.
I tell you what, if you're cool with it, Rob, because I already anointed your little ass, and I can anoint Scar. I will approach you and do. Thank you for the HP adjustment. There we go. I will approach Scar and I will say, I am Furia, cleric of the great Mother Freya. May you be guided and blessed by her light. And as I anoint you, I will give you one of my healing verbs, which I
Do
believe
you have the healer feat?
the healer feat. No, what I have right now is magic initiative.
Okay, cool. No worries.
Let me make sure that I know how this spell works.
Mm.
Because
Now, I do also have a very gambly question.
gambling.
Situation, Tim, where I'd be coming off a short rest and could spend a hit die.
Long rests, not really. Long rests
Okay.
normally heal you. You've already had a long rest, but when you woke up, you were at 1. It's really just, it's outside of the rules. It's more of the RP thing.
Nope, I get you. I just wanted to know what my options were, you know?
Okay, I'm going to roll the
Yeah.
dice. Butts.
Hell yeah. Heal our butts.
Let's see. Edgar, you will go first because I technically should have done this already.
Yay, Edgar.
It should just be 2d4. I don't think there's. Or do you add whiz?
Mhm.
Do you add whiz?
Yep, you add whiz.
Oh, I will add my whiz. Oh, good for you guys, because this
Yep.
might solve all of your problems.
I don't know, I got 15 HP worth of problems to solve.
You now gain 12.
Oh! I rescind that statement. I only have 2 HP worth of problems to solve.
You feel the warmth of a good whiskey or whatever throughout your body as Furia sort of Freya's good vibes throughout your bloodstream, touching all of your muscles and organs.
A feeling Edgar is very familiar with from his past.
Scar, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to roll a 7. The computer made me do it. You do get 7.
The good news is you were already at 4, so you are at 11.
Yeah, you actually, they're both only missing 2 now, so.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, it's the same ratio, so you did fine.
It's actually fucking hilarious.
And if anybody kind of looks at me doing this and thinks me too selfless or something like that, I kind of just I raise my eyebrow that you can see because I am missing a Yarball, and I say, "Fear not, I will remain strong, and I will give myself 5 more shapes, and be at 8."
You just see Edgar kind of quietly give you 2 thumbs up. Also, I just assume, even if I don't say so, that almost any movement causes Edgar's armor to clank. And additionally, the rosary that he has as his holy symbol is made of bell bearings, so there's additional clank noise.
That's nice.
What's the starting armor you get again, Rob?
Chainmail.
Nice.
I thought ahead for how I'm going to sound. And
Punchy.
after you finish healing everyone, Edgar says the same paragraph to you, and I'm going to spare the stream me just repeating it again.
And then as I name myself, assuming that you name yourself Tom, I would just do the old well met thing, and I will say there is nothing more that we can do for them. Perhaps we should be on our way.
The woman next to you says, "Wow, you are truly gifted in the healing arts. No wonder you are helping in the war effort."
Thank you for this.
I would. You all are up and about, but I would still request to. You may walk around the grounds, but please don't venture out yet. It's not safe.
May I ask why?
The forces of evil, of course, they're everywhere. Though some of the larger threats are kept at bay from this position, the skeletons frequently break through. But just for now, we'll see if maybe it will be safe to move soon. There is plenty of good to be done around here, though. I'm sure people of all of your stature will find ways to help.
And Sir Edgar signs back, understood.
Mm.
Is it-
And she says, what was it? Lady Furia, you should truly consider joining the House of Light. You would go very far with us.
You don't see it, but behind Lady Furia, Edgar again just gives the double thumbs up, very clankle.
I see. It is my belief that I may help, perhaps more, if I am to continue independent. Do you believe that my joining you will restrain my ability to heal those who are in need?
Well, why would it do that? We are dedicated to the healing of all.
I put forth the little healing thingies that you see on, like, old Jesus art, and I say, please excuse my tone. I meant no ill will, but rather to question, would it make more sense for me to bring light to where is dark than to stay amongst the brightness of yours?
Well, the House of Light brings light to all.
I do not question this.
We
I
are
merely say that I may be a candle in the darkness elsewhere.
we are all the bulwark against the darkness. It's coming from one direction.
And Edgar at this point actually does respond in prayer, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to. I had it and I lost it. Sorry, never mind.
That's all right. It happens to me all the time.
I will end my petulant questioning, and I will, if it will do good.
I'm like,
I
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, basically, she's not quite playing hard to get, but I think the implication is that she's, she believes things that she believes, but you
Yeah.
have effectively won her over, I think is probably fair. Because I don't want to be, like, overly resistant to something that seems like a good choice.
Yeah, I'm just like, no, how can I answer these questions like someone who's a true believer who's holding a political line, basically, even if it's an altruistic one. It's like, like, we bring the light to everyone. Of course. Like, it's like, that's not really engaging with the content of the question, but it's like dodging it, sort of.
Can I just say, for everyone from my survey, the question 19, she says he believes that each of the guilds serve a purpose in this holy war, even if they are not always clear in their goals or state them in full. However, I trust any guild member until I am given a reason not to.
Ah, cool.
Especially those of the light. So I suppose, that's kind of...
I also remembered what I was going to say.
Go for it.
And he kind of just bows his head and he says, I serve the House of Light, and through the House of Light, I serve Tyr. I go where it is darkest and bring the light. No church constrains the path of my action.
Nice.
In Furia, you would recognize Tyr as a god who was once a part of the pantheon that both of your patrons came from, but has since left, and sort of ascended beyond Asgard, really, because his power extends throughout many crystal spheres, which is a relatively rare ability for gods. It shows that he's like on like a higher tier, and you would never tell Odin that Tyr is more powerful than him, but he knows.
He knows.
It bugs him.
He'd never admit it, but he knows.
Sometimes he looks in the mirror and thinks it to himself for a second and shakes himself away from it.
Yeah, but especially one to your background, you understand. Okay, this guy's god is serious business.
I think one of also the best little lore details about his power extending to other crystal spheres is if a good god's cleric is in his sphere, their powers are technically blocked, but because Tyr believes so strongly in fairness and good, he simulates those powers for him from within his domain of power. He's that fucking nice of a guy, and I love that.
He's all about fairness.
Mm-hmm.
And since it was so unfair that half of y'all's country is ravaged by the undead and the demons, he's doing good work around here.
But just like Jurgle has a lot of fucking housekeeping to do in the house, Tyr has a lot of housekeeping to do around here.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so she has said you're allowed to roam around, but just try to stay on the grounds here, with inside the walls.
I think Furia was going to ask something of Scar.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Say, and what of you, my wrapped one? To whom do you serve? Is it the light? Or is it something else?
You just kind of, as all of those sort of talk of sort of pantheon and noble houses sort of kind of draws on, you can just kind of see like this thousand yard stare that he has, and it kind of like as you ask the question, it kind of just like washes over him, and you almost see him kind of like bask in the sort of, you see the question hit him, and he kind of like knocks back a little bit from it, and he just sort of looks, and then like his eyes will lock onto yours from his sort of bandages, and you can see the eyes that are not the eyes that meet you don't typically have the same. They aren't exactly the same as what you would typically find in a human. It's slightly subtle, or like they just seem to have a little bit more of a hunter sort of parts to it, compared to just sort of a regular human pupil. They look like he would have an easier time seeing at night, up to 120 feet, if you were just estimate. And sort of as you sort of see this this view, his hands will clench, and he will go, my purpose is to fight this undead horde. Anyone who is fighting for that purpose or has that interest, I fight with. Anyone who gets in my way or wants to prevent me from being able to fight the undead are my enemy. It's as simple as that. Gods and pantheons are a luxury that some can afford, but I cannot. And that you fight for and the people that you fight for are still alive, whereas my family is dead. My house is ash. And that my only purpose is to carry on and fight. But anything beyond that, I have no interest in. And he will dramatically walk out of the tent into the...
Yo.
Next scene.
It is a building, not a tent, but yeah, that's fine. I will reveal some stuff.
Walks out like with the attitude of someone in a tent, even though it's a stone structure. That's pretty
perfect.
It's a power play. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you
get this
blinded.
Right? As he opens the door, there's a flash of light.
Yeah, it's your eyes adjusting to the daylight.
And after this, Sir Edgar will kind of look at Furia and just kind of shrug and walk outside.
it's a shame too because I like above table. I kind of wanted to do like a roll of a skill, but as I think on it, I'm like, what could have I done? Like that would have helped because he wasn't doing anything magical. My insight's okay. I couldn't like learn anything about his religious disposition using my religious skill.
I think he made it pretty clear, yeah.
All right, so there's no
Pretty
reason to.
clearly.
Yeah, that's okay.
He
I was
just-
just thinking out
he laid it out for you right out the gate.
loud. Before we exit there, is it cool if I ask that lady? Because I will follow you guys fairly quickly, but
Oh yeah.
I just want to ask her. The people of Bretagard, do you know them? Are there any in this camp? Any survivors? Have they joined the here?
What out of the options in the lore or in the sort of setting notes, which category would they fall under? Like a noble-led group, a free group, or a just like a some kind of tribe from the lawless lands? I forget if you said specifically.
Mercenary. I can even tell you. I can even tell you. Where the heck? Which one do thing? Well, yeah, I'll just keep it short and just say, oh yeah, the free folk. I say that they are free, yes, but they are nonetheless vulnerable and demand the protection by the strong, led by the gods by circumstances of their birth. They can only be purely and truly free when they themselves gain the strength to guide and protect others. This I believe, as I too once served amongst the mercenary folk, which is basically me saying, you know, that's who's my homies was.
Yeah, I'll make. Oh yeah, and we can say I forgot to do it earlier. She introduced herself as Sister Mira of the House of Light. I'm just having her roll a history check.
Okie dokie.
And she's like, hold on, what's the okay. She says, I mean I've heard the name. I'm not particularly familiar. But all who fight the darkness are good with the House of Light.
They are known to wear the gray furs of wolves amongst the leather and wooden shields, and green and white emblazon them with gold fringe, for you to have seen them. I'm also going to put a photo of this stuff in my copy of the thing that I'm going to send you, so that way you can just look at it.
Mhm.
Hell yeah. It just seemed like it would be a good thing to do. Send this to myself. I'm also going to send you what I think she looked like when she was a mortal serving amongst them. It's a card that's called Hero of Bretagard,
Cool.
which is, I think, thematically pretty good. She was probably a hero, and that's how she got to be Valkyrie and all that noise.
And she says, "Oh, I haven't seen any of your people. We're in Greenvale now. I'm not sure where that is in relation, but if you are of the free folk of the lawless lands, they were probably far from here. Although, with this war, people are sent where they're sent. I will keep your people in mind and let you know if I hear anything. And sadly, I'm just a lowly medic, really. I have some ability, but it is better suited here than on the front line. Well, we're near the front lines. Better suited, what I mean is better suited doing medical work than trying to lift a weapon. But I admire you for doing this work in the line of fire.
It is I who receives the honor to simply serve those who need it.
Indeed. It's an honor to serve the light and all of the folk of this land.
She will probably put a little bit of what's the word? Not humor, levity, and kind of not quite smirk, but she smiles and raises an eyebrow and say, "Dear sister, I must say one last to you. It is not just people that I can heal. Should there be something broken, perhaps I can mend it. You need only seek me out. I
Thank you.
was quite of fixing shields, but I can handle swords, spears, and the like just as well."
Oh, well, perhaps you can speak with one of the smiths over in the House of Irons. Well, they have a small setup here. Perhaps
Those
they
that
could
wear
use your help.
I think I got that right, didn't they?
Would you
I
say?
think. Yeah, those that wear the yellow. I said gold, but
Mm-hmm.
the black and gold.
Yes,
Oh,
they
that's cool.
they are the ones in charge of equipment, really. But yeah, there's plenty of other things broken around here as well. As you can see, sort of just gestures at like the pieces of wood on the ground and like the holes in the stone walls variously, and like little piles of rubble next to them.
And she'll just again maintain her smile and just say like, "I bid you farewell, good sister, and I'll be sure to be safe while I travel around the camp."
Thank you. May
You know,
may the radiance follow you.
And you as well. Now I must find out where those two have gone. And I guess I'll talk about outside.
And when you get outside, wherever it is that Scar has gone, you find Sir Edgar kind of just leaning up against the wall outside of the infirmary, his mask half pushed up his face and smoking a pipe. He has a gnarly fucking scar on the left side of his face that just kind of tears a section of his lip open like Jonah Hex.
Oh God. Well, you probably also saw that I'm not just missing an eyeball, but I also have 3 big beastly runnels of flesh rent out of my face.
Oh hell yeah!
But yeah, as you sort of round the corner to, first of all, you find yourself sort of in the courtyard of it, or like within the walls of a fairly small castle or fort of some kind.
Heap of some sort.
And it looks pretty. It looks like it's been around for a long time, as you would expect from a lot of the forts, where they're like, taken and rebuilt over the years. So this is sort of like a proud old fort, of, around since before the nobles and the free folk overthrew the monarch. But as you sort of get more to the main square, Scar, you're kind of met with a pretty chaotic situation. A lot going on out here. I'm going to reveal more in 1 second.
Zooming out.
It seems as well. Yeah, there's a lot of different commotions. You see, you see I don't know. Is there a D&D name for a rhinoceros man?
Yes, a Rox. RHOX.
Okay, so you see a Rox cleric of some kind doing some sort of ritual at the well. You see another cleric sort of speaking to a group of raggedy dressed common looking folk. You have a broken cart blocking the gate, and a couple of wagons look as though they're trying to get out, but there are 3 figures sort of arguing, having a spirited discussion. It seems some want to leave, some say you shouldn't leave, and there's just some dispute over where the resources are meant to be going, and just a member of the House of Iron, fully clad in blackened steel, a mercenary that's wearing the helmet markings of the captain of this small group of mercenaries, and one of the Green Veil guards, sort of a higher ranking looking one, are sort of each have their own disagreements happening here, and then to the north, you could see a group of people arguing with another Green Veil guard, who's not letting them through to the sort of the main keep, and they're all demanding their fair share of food, and accusing the nobles of stashing it all away for themselves in the keep, and they're complaining about how there's hungry people here, and people are sleeping on the ground, like, let us in, kind of. And the guard is just, sternly just telling them to stay back, and like one man is trying to offer gold. So that's the gist of. And then there are a few other buildings that are just sort of on the grounds here that you may look around.
From sort of with how coming outside and kind of seeing where we are, would I be able to tell how far I am from where I got knocked out?
I guess you could
like
make
how far my body's traveled.
Yeah, you could. I guess. Let's see. The only like the nurse or the medic said Green Veil, so I don't know if you would have heard that that's where you are. Why don't you just make a perception check? So like be listening, like
Okay.
where is this? Where am I? Kind of.
Who are you?
All right. That is a 19.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say you're hearing enough different conversations that you pick up the phrase Green Veil, and also the phrase Green's Fort. So it seems as though you're in a place called Green's Fort in a region called Green Veil.
Okay.
And
how?
I'm not even really sure. I didn't really think of an exact origin point, and there's not even a map. I'll just say let's see. You're probably a couple days ride from where you were. Like not super far, but far enough that it would take some doing to get back there.
Okay. So with sort of that, he sort of walks around, he steps out, and it's kind of one of those things where he kind of walks around, sort of taking in going on, sort of spins back, and then sees Farah coming back out, June coming out of the tent, of the castle building, and will come back and be like, where were you last before you woke up here?
Let's see. Do I need to check my own history, Tim, or do I just sort of
Just make something up. I've pretty much dropped a skeleton of lore, but like if you ever want to be like, I'm from this city and fully describe that city, that's allowed and encouraged and helpful.
So Tom, again, your question was just like, well, what happened before you got into
Yeah,
here?
like do you remember where you were before you woke up here?
Though it pains me to admit to it, I can tell you no lie. I do not recall. I suspect I have a vague memory that I was, as you might expect, in the process of healing a wounded soldier, but next I recall there were loud sounds and impact tremor caused me to fall to my knees, and next I knew I was here.
Well,
Is that the same for you?
that's similar. And it's sort of one of those things where he's like, maybe we won't fully understand and then he kind of looks back at the three people who are still unconscious until we have until we fully know who's around. It might not be might not be as clear. But I think you mentioned that you were gifted in mending, because there appears to be a broken wagon right by the gate there that's causing quite a bit of commotion. Also, do you have the ability to make more food for people? Because that would also solve. You could solve 90% of the problems here very quickly if you could fix those two issues, it seems.
I'll have her just go, oh ho, another task that I may complete. And then you just almost immediately hear her go, oh. How embarrassing. It would be good if I could make food. But alas, I cannot lie. I do not have that ability.
And in your time as a Valkyrie, you basically were given an enchanted apple that would feed you for a very long time. So
Yeah.
being mortal again, you've needed to get reaccustomed to like hunger.
You just pull out one apple. Will this be enough?
I would, if I still had it. I'm selfless enough that I would pull that fucking fish and loaves thing that Jesus did.
Is create food and water still a spell?
Just imagine giving someone the tiniest little bite of an apple that you have to bite with your front teeth, like, oh god, I'm full.
Oh my god, I'm full.
How much is even an unlimited apple? Like 5 gold?
Well, it's not unlimited, but you're good for a really long time. Oh, it's a level 3 spell. That's why you can't have it yet. That's fair enough.
Well, I mean,
it's an apple that feeds you forever. How much could it possibly cost, Michael? 2 gold?
Well, I mean, I think solving the cart problem will still be a great help.
Thank you.
They might just need. It seems like they might just need some muscle. Looking over at Edgar, just going. They might just. The stores over there might just need a better bookkeeper and somebody to calm everybody down.
It is at this time, and I will say that what's your passive perception?
13.
I'm going to say that that's good enough for the sake of it, and she's kind of muttering to herself, "Oh, Freya, save me, not mathematics." I will then kind of just move myself past the rocks and sort of myself do a little bit of a perceptionist to see if I can tell at a glance or at this distance what is to be done with these broke ass cart. Just see if I can kind of tell.
Yeah, you can take a look.
Oof. Okay, maybe I need to get closer.
Yeah, it's like there's a large rhino man sort of making it hard to see. But you can walk right over, and you don't really have to roll perception at that point.
Is he doing like one of those like campus creature things over here by the well? What's he doing?
I think he's trying to purify it.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Well, you can roll religion to try to figure that out, but he's doing some kind of ritual at the well. Oh no, he fell in the well.
Right? Yeah.
Welcome to my first critical failure.
Well, first nat 20, first crit fail.
Well, actually, it should be 12.
That's the way it goes.
I
Fall in on a critical fail.
Yeah, you have no idea what this man is, what strange mutterings this man is making. But you've seen other priests do similar things, but you can't make head or tail of the actual mechanics of it.
I will also roll a religione check.
Do it.
Is that one of my trained skills or not? I forget. No, it's not. Surprising. I got a 9.
Fuck.
Okay, you said 9. You can determine slightly more, but this magic is beyond what you're capable of. Your hunch that he's trying to purify the well, you feel like that is probably what's happening, but you're not 100%.
He quietly and reverently walks up, bows his head, and then in the same way that he did with Furia, he just quietly offers his holy water to the man.
Another child of the light. Oh, thank you for your offering, but yes, you may offer to Helm if you desire, but perhaps in these times you should keep your water, for I am able to create it.
He just, Edgar simply nods respectfully and goes, "May Tyr bless and protect you," and steps away from the man.
Mm-hmm.
The right man.
Yeah, I have this interesting thing I'm trying with the House of Light, where it's like they just oversee religion. So like a whole bunch of different types of priests are involved. And they're like, if your tradition allows you to offer to another god, you could.
Yeah, no.
But it will be in his name. And like, I don't know, I kind of like it. And I also like the idea of there are characters who don't like that. And they're like, they should all follow this one god, not split it up.
I was going to say, that will be the thing that gets Sir Edgar to just kind of sign out. That person is a freak.
You do also, as you walk past this this building, you hear just loud clanging of hammers on metal. And I'll just even give you, as you're walking by, the door's open, so as you're walking by, you notice an enormous figure inside there, pounding on metal with her fist.
There's a whole fire giant.
Yeah, there is a fire giant punching a piece of metal into the shape of a giant sword right now. Next to her, there is a tiny gnome, or no, a halfling, I mean, making what would be a long sword for her, but is probably a short sword or dagger for someone else.
Hmm. That's just, there's no in between.
And then you see a dwarf. There is an in between, but you see a dwarf just kind of leaning against the wall, catching his breath. He's really sweaty, and he has the symbol of the House of Iron on his forehead in like a headband, which basically has like hammers and swords. It's not one specific symbol, but it's basically hammer, sword, and anvil motifs are what you will see in that guilds. So, oh yeah, and then as you peek at this forge, there's like a strange inner light to it that is allowing the fire to burn without bellows and just consistently be exactly the type of fire you need to forge with.
That's fucking dope. I love that. And Sir Edgar will continue his trend of silently offering things as his means of greeting people without breaking his vow, and offer the dwarf his pipe and some tobacco.
Oh, thank you, me boy. Just don't tell the wife, okay? And he takes a hit.
Nods and bows, and then as the dwarf is taking a nice quick rip of a dart, he writes out, "This may sound as though it's a strange request, but do you by any chance have any bell bearings or rosary beads in your inventory?" And he tears the page out of his notebook and hands it to him. It's written in perfect dwarven script.
Oh wow. You know the script very good. Rosaries you have to ask in the House of Light, but we may have some sort of bearings. I can forge anything too, so what size do you want?
And he produces a rosary chain from his. He unwraps the rosary chain from his sword, and makes a point of showing to the dwarf that it's a dwarf forged executioner's sword with the word verdict written in dwarven across it.
Cool.
And he writes out about this size. If you can make one with a bell in it, that would be ideal. But I am not particular. And then, because I would assume technical diagrams are a part of the dwarven language, he draws out kind of pictographical equivalent of opening, resonant material, and bell inside of the bead.
So what are you asking for again exactly?
I'm basically asking for beads that make a ringing noise.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, got it. Yeah, okay. So he has a concept of what you're going for. And says he can try to figure something out.
And the last thing I'll write out is, "It's no rush. It's merely a hobby of mine."
Well, I don't mean to pry, lad, but why aren't you just talking like the rest of us?
At which point he sighs and in perfect dwarven says the exact same thing for the third time since he's become conscious today.
Oh.
No, I love this. This is amazing. What I wanted that joke to be. I do it in one session and I just call it the paragraph afterwards.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you House of Light folks love your vows. Okay, good. If it works for you, I guess Yes. I guess it works.
And he
It's clearly a very gentle man who really doesn't like the House of Light that much.
oh, that's a very polite way to say you're a fucking freak, buddy. And
he's just a nice, jolly dwarven fellow.
He signed, and he says the last thing that he says, in Dwarven, "May Tyr bless you," and he hands him 2 gold out of his pack with a note in Dwarven that says "installment."
Cool.
I want him to be constantly working on his rosary. So,
cool.
like, buying more beads for it is like a hobby thing for me.
Nice.
I pass the scene. Do not interact with me for at least 5 minutes in game. We'll need time.
I will say above table, if I am doing this in the future, I'm going to say, friend, may I offer a kind suggestion that perhaps penitence that never ends is no penitence at all, but rather a prison sentence. And then at this point in the future, I would hope that you would have seen her and known about her, like, twin sister and all that stuff. And take it from me.
I do love that. And above table, I will say there is actually an end point to his penitence for him. I still have to figure out what it is, but I do want there to be a point where, like, Tyr straight up sends him a sign that he may speak again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's very far down the line, and again, I cede all interactions for the near future.
Tom, what you want?
Yeah, and sorry for diverting the attention.
No, that was.
But now we're good over here.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and both of you make perception checks as you approach the situation.
Oh yeah, sure.
Or you can roll if you want, or just give me your passive.
I'll roll, but mine's 13. As a note. And I rolled a 13, but that means that I actually get a 16.
All right.
Nice. I got, my passive is 15, but I'm a moron.
You're just really focused in. You're really focused in on this guy covered in bandages. We'll say. Well, he looks extra fucked up. But hold on, real quick. Let me just resolve Tom rolling higher.
Yes.
As you survey the scene, you see this cart is really messed up. There's even looks like one of the passengers who was on it. You can see through the bars of the gate. Is dead. And the horse pulling it is dead. Looks like they drove through some crazy stuff. And you recognize this type of cart, or I guess you recognize it as kind of a shabby cart in ill repair, the type you would see wayfarers riding in, more because any of the guild or noble carts would be really maintained. So you're guessing that maybe a portion of the people gathered here came in on this cart. And you see, but you also notice, other than the 2 men who seem to be directly in charge of the cart, the guy with the axe and the bandaged guy, you look off to the right and you see a really fat half-orc with a cleaver, and he's just sort of licking his lips, drooling a little, looking over at that dead horse, like he wants to run over there and just chop that into that thing, but he's sort of barely restraining himself because he doesn't want to get, you don't know why, but you can just sort of see that he's furtively keeps looking over hey.
Question.
Yes.
How long horse dead?
pretty fresh, pretty recently. Like,
Minutes?
just before you walked out of the room, basically, is of your like the infirmary, House of Light chamber.
I wish to spare the horse from dying.
Well, the horse is dead.
Oh.
Past that, it's not making death saves anymore. It's dead. It's just freshly dead.
As just like an expression of how much I love animals too, can I just sort of choose, as Rob says, you can choose to fail. I can choose to forget medicine and the wisdom that comes with it and attempt to do a cantrip, not realizing that it will fail until it does.
Yeah, well, and you can't know till you do it, so it does make sense that you would try.
Sweet.
Is the gate completely closed, or is it?
It's like partially. It's closed as much as it can be over this cart, so it's mostly closed. But someone or something could probably wriggle under it. They might get like jabbed a little by the spikes, but they're just like a little bit up. It's sort of like a portcullis like thing, and it's like half closed or most of the way closed over the broken pieces.
Gotcha.
I guess, is it cool if, as a former Valkyrie, that like there's something about horses that kind of hit home a little bit, and I just, as I kneel, as I kind of stand up, I just want to kind of be like, like she realizes it is too late to help this. I guess to her, would it be like normal horses, like normal mortal to
yeah,
Valkyrie,
well, and Freya has sort of nature aspects as well. More like about fertility, but just anything dying is sort of the opposite of birth in a way. So, like in that sense, I mean, well, and she's just a compassionate to living things, and she has pets. So yeah, she's kind of a cat lady. So it all sort of lines up with your current patron.
So maybe what you're saying is, long shot, the mare had a foal in her, and I can try to allow the horse to come out as baby?
No. That's not. We're not.
On the bright side, that doesn't mean
we're not doing horse midwifery in my TNT game.
You know what? Everybody's got to draw the line somewhere, man.
Midwifery in my D&D game? No.
Well, you can play at grace. You can almost any item within reason over time. You cannot midwife a horse in Tim 2. You just can't.
I don't want to be too cheeky, but as I've answered the last question, I might just put open-ended. I have to learn to love to cleric and perhaps to midwife one horse. But I'm not going to do that.
No, I love.
What you're looking to see in this campaign is horse midwifing. In this moment, I'm gonna wave over. I'm gonna make eye contact with the half orc, and I'm gonna wave him over.
Okay. He just kind of lumbers over. You want to talk to me?
Yeah. Are you looking at? Do you think you can clean up this horse and put it to good use?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Oh, it won't be very clean, but there will be less horse around.
Well,
I meant clean it for eating, so we could all potentially eat horse.
Oh, I mean,
butcher.
I'm not a very clean kind of person, but I mean, you could. Well, I probably can't eat the whole horse, so I guess I could share. You know, I feel like I could probably eat a whole horse. Right?
Is he wearing a chef's hat?
Yeah, he's got a little chef's hat on.
He's not the chef.
It's sort of balanced precariously. It doesn't fit very well.
Chef Totino's. Run.
Totino's. How did you know?
We're children.
All right. Well, if you could just save some of the the grossest the hump and the back part for the rest of us, and you can have the feet and all the intestines.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're gonna
immediately. Obviously,
give me
you
all
can
the
share and everything
tastiest
else.
parts? That's very generous.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna do a lot of the work, so it makes sense.
You know,
But we want to make sure the meat doesn't spoil since there's arrows in it, so you got to get those guts out of it quickly. I do apologize looking at the two people who are right next to it, but we've got to be realistic in the resources that we have. Meat's good now, it won't be good tomorrow, and it's not going to be alive tomorrow. It will still be dead. So, and I'll just kind of I'll just kind of take. If they're movable, I think the guy in the bandages and the axe just kind of lead them more towards our cleric, kind of away from the horse as the orc will kind of do his thing, and ask them how exactly did you end what was the last what happened 5 minutes ago as opposed to 3 minutes ago. What you get? What's your story? A bandage to bandage. What happened?
so you move him you bring him sort of over here.
Yeah, it's kind of away from where the horse is going to be, out of the sight line, but not fully away from the, not away from their possessions or the cart itself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over to the kind of maintain my composure and attempt to hide that I am in fact feeling a little bit bad.
Roll a deception or roll a performance check.
Very well. Performance. Yeah.
Performance.
Oh, how do I beef this one? So my margin of error is not very good. Okay.
I
Well,
mean, you could
hey.
please trust yourself.
In the computer's defense, it will give me a crit for literally the first thing I or anyone did. So that's pretty cool.
That is nift.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Also,
You're pretty sure a lot of the people around you saw you being sad about a horse that died. But you also, in that moment, you see that the bandaged man is also. You sort of sense that he too is very sad about the horse being dead.
You don't have to roll for this to see that Scar does not care about any of the people being sad about the horse.
Yeah.
He very much has observed people. He rolled an 18 perception to see that people were upset, and he does not care.
You have the knowledge. You have the knowledge. You don't need to have the empathy.
He's aware of what he's done, but it was necessary.
Also, I just want to say the orc chef kind of looks like King K. Rool when you zoom in on his token, and I do love that.
He does.
It makes me very, very happy.
I think the artist whose tokens I use, his name is Devin Knight. I think he makes specific characters, so a lot of times I'm using specific characters without knowing.
Devin Knight, shout out to you for one, all of these great things Tim has kit bashed, and two, King K. Rool orc. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and we're not affiliated, but if we had, if you want these cool types of art things, it's Immortal Knights. I think Knights with a K. I think that's Devin Knight's website. Or just Google Devin Knight, token art. he makes
He's a cool
stuff, and I use a lot of the tokens. Anyway, oh yeah. Also, while we're at it, the person who made the map, the people who made the map, are on Patreon. Again, we're not affiliated in any way, but other than they released free stuff, so you can look up on Patreon Dungeon A. And all my maps I usually pull them from the Battle Maps subreddit. So a lot of like map makers drop free releases there. So it's pretty good. Anyway, back to what we were doing.
Shout to all those people, and if you have money after giving Tim all of your money at the end of the month, what the fuck is wrong with you? And two, give it to any of the other people we just listed because they're fantastic.
I would like to say briefly that you all should be glad that I didn't pull up my sensor to do some rights on the horse. Then it just would have been like, you know, smelly horse meat. It'd be Catholic Church horse, and you know, I don't know that stuff is good for eating. I don't think you're supposed to eat murder, folks.
There's another corpse down here that you can do rights on.
Thank
It's
you,
a couple.
Tom. Very sweet.
Yeah, you'll have opportunity. Don't worry.
There's plenty of death to go around. Don't worry about it. I slightly forget the flow of where we were before.
We had just asked basically the two main survivors what their story was in terms of what had happened.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, we were coming to the fort to be safe, and then the skeletons came. Just everywhere, all around the road. They came up out of the ground, and then more archers also came out. I mean, Rosie did her best to run us here. And she got us just through the gate with her last strength. I'm gonna miss her.
Rosie was the horse?
Yep.
Yes.
Best horse I ever had. And you notice this guy is kind of... He's got clothes that were fine, but have been worn for a long time. Like someone who used to have money, seemingly.
I will say something to the horse corpse to the effect of, may you sprout your wings and join your sisters in the heaven.
Just like as Chef Hungry Orc is chopping.
Well, I would like to have said it before he started chopping, but if
that's fair.
I get there, we're chopping up.
I was just following the chronology that happened, but we are allowed to retcon things here. It's fine.
Okay, I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
That might be the punishment for fucking up Caleb. As a complete coincidence, these green and silver-shouldered soldiers are very close to the art for the Breitagard people, which I am certain was not intentional.
At first glance, do we think would it seem like it would be faster to push this cart, the broken cart, like to pull it in or to push it back out, to be able to fully close the gate?
It's sort of what, like one of the wheels is off and the other one's loose in the front, but both back wheels are still intact. So really, it's the highest in the back. So if you were to pull it in, you'd have to open the gate or break down the cart more. It would be easier to just shove it outside, and then the gate would close.
Can I mend the wheel on it and then push it out?
Someone will have to hold it in place, but if, well, I guess, yeah, you would cast it several times to mend, like, the spokes, but then to
Yeah.
get the wheel on, you'd have to have, yeah, basically someone hold it in place and cast it on the broken parts.
Okay.
Cool. I was gonna say I can also like attempt an athletics check to push it out. I do have 18 strength.
Okay. Well,
Junior?
that like, while you guys are kind of thinking about how to get that, I don't know. Okay, this is gut instinct of like we're facing like an undead like holy war, or just an undead kind of battle. I am going to shimmy as a monk, kind of slide under the gate, and I'm going to head to the corpse, and I'm going to attempt to, I'm going to tie a rope around the horse, and then I'm going to try and drag the body back with me under the gate.
Okay, first make an acrobatics check to get under the gate.
Okay. That'd be a 14.
Okay. Your cloak snags a little bit and tears on like the, it's sort of like a portcullis with spikes, but you're able to get through without injuring yourself or getting stuck.
Right.
But the guard behind you definitely is like, "What are you doing? Get back in here! No one's allowed out. It's too dangerous." And as you sort of go out, there like a couple of arrows miss you.
Ah!
And you can kind of look up in the distance. There's a couple skeletons with bows already there.
Mm-hmm.
But then, two arrows come from somewhere on the walls and just strike both of them and break them apart. But it's actively, there's enemies out here.
Right. I will.
Honking noise at the button.
So I'll dash out.
Mm-hmm.
As a bonus action, which I can do for 2 reasons, but because I'm doing that, I can use an ability to get 2 temporary hit points.
Nice.
So I'm gonna bump myself up back to full. So I'm going to use my object. So I'll attempt to use an object interaction to tie a rope around the horse.
I'll say if you want to tie it around it, it's an action. But if you want to just like thread a rope through its harness, which
Yes.
might be weaker, I'll allow that to be an object interaction.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll tie it around. It's less of a priority. The horse is more of a bonus than a priority.
Yeah.
Bonus.
It's double dinner.
And then, so I'll tie that off, and then I'll try and drag him back to under the gate.
You're dragging the body.
Yeah, the guy,
Okay.
the person.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, with your action and moving at half speed, you still have more than enough movement to drag a person. It's like effectively the same as like if you're grappling a person and dragging them.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's probably a little easier. Anyway, I don't know how that would work mechanically necessarily. But anyway, you succeed in doing this thing, and you have your rope attached to the horse.
Hell yeah. Once he's back through, can I make an athletics check to assist in pulling the horse through?
Yeah.
Right. We'll do so then.
I'll actually kind of looking at your armor clad and everything. I'll let you take the lead on. He'll just be like, "No, get in front of me, not behind." Like,
Wait, so are you assisting on the
I'll help
check? Or?
I'll assist
yeah.
you. I'm just
and
gonna
the
zoom.
guy with the axe will also sort of come up and like help pull.
Alrighty, so that is here. That's not terrible. 250. Yeah, that's 15 on my athletics.
All right.
This is.
Pull the horse in.
Oh wait, which horse?
The one that's outside of the walls.
Isn't it not? Oh, we're trying to get food from it also.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Or Daisy.
Yeah, you're able to pull this horse in. It sort of breaks the harness the rope's tied to, but because the horse is partially through, you're able to, then take further steps to get it all the way inside. I'll just drop it in the horse graveyard over.
Oh God! What have we done?
Once we've got both bodies in, I'll divert the attention to pushing the cart out.
Alrighty, let's make
Just
another
to be able.
advantage. I'll see that.
Yeah, so push it.
Yeah, and they sort of grab their things off of the cart, whatever was still left, and the axe guy will help pull or push. I mean,
Between Scar and Axe Guy's help, I get an 18 on my athletics check to shove that motherfucker back out.
Okay. Because the NPC rolled real high, we'll say you all managed to get it done.
And as he's shoving, and like it's clearly not working until Axe Guy's absurdly high roll assists me. He just like is shoving, and he just like is grunting. In Tyr's name, we cast you out.
You guys didn't put the wheel on with my mimding?
No, we just beef boyed.
All the big strong men just did the big strong man thing and shoved on this thing.
There was two wheel. It had mobility. We use caveman logic. Shove.
What is with this? Hopefully not corpse.
Corpse. That's the one that Tom just pulled in. She was riding on the wagon.
Make sure it's buried properly and doesn't reanimate.
Yeah, we would hate that.
And there's a broken longsword that would have the stats of a short sword, as well as a breastplate on this individual.
Is a breastplate a medium?
I believe it is. Yeah. It's definitely.
Let me see.
It's basically the portion of the plate armor that covers the chest.
It's like a 15+2.
It's basically quarter plate. There's half plate and full plate. This is basically quarter plate.
Does it mathematically replace my chain shirt?
Yep, it's 14.
Well, what's your depends on your dex, but probably because I think your dex is 2.
Well, what I mean is like imagine an equipped window in a Morrowind style situation. In my framing, I have written it as like because the game doesn't make me do this, but for my record keeping, I have it as like equipment head, equipment chest, yada yada. Can it be worn in addition to the shirt, or does it take the place?
It's just armor. Yeah.
Theoretically,
you-
it could. Mechanically, it won't do anything more.
Yeah,
but it
right.
could go over.
I mean,
It could
visually,
go over its
yeah, visually that's fine, but mechanically, you're either wearing a breastplate or a chain shirt.
Okay, well, it makes my AC go up by 1, so since we're not in combat, I could don it.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll do
or
that.
maybe wait a respectful amount of time, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sure.
we must prepare the body for last rites. Take that armor off.
yep, that is the way to go about it.
What's that joke?
And then
where they,
it fits like a glove. Standing right over.
this is like
But
it's
I'm
their
wearing
shoes.
no shirt at all. Sorry.
in Wars, the H word, and there's the guy that's like, please, if you see my son, tell him I love him. Give him this watch. And Bender takes, ooh, looks like those are nice boots. I bet your son would enjoy those too. It's like,
That's a great. I
and
love that.
the guard who yelled at you earlier comes up, like he's now been able to close the gate, and he says, "Sorry for yelling at you before. It's just our job to keep everyone safe. But thank you. Your risk has helped us secure the castle.
Was
My,
fine. It was
my apologies."
all good. I saw an opportunity to fully secure the area and prevent Seoul from being utilized by the enemy, so I took it. But
Yes.
perhaps if I was in your position, I would have made the same loud call as well.
Well, it's just from your appearance, you seem like someone who needs protecting, but clearly, looks are only skin deep. You have done well today.
Noich.
I'm just used to people like you, dressed like you, standing no chance against the forces of evil.
I do look like I escaped the medical tent. No worry.
Yeah. And I did mean to give you full sleeveless as the description was, but this was
Okay.
close enough.
It fits. It looks good. Yeah, I have no complaints.
I dig the way that token came out, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of
Tom,
fun to
I-
make.
About this. There was a time when you didn't have hands.
Yeah, June was discording with me the night I was working on tokens, so she got to see the intermediate phases. And well, she actually helped me. She was like, that wrapping looks bad. And I was like, yeah, I thought so too. I'm gonna change it.
So there was another. So the other thing that was, so we sort of had this broken cart, and then we had people who were demanding a share of like the stock. Like, is it this group in the top north that the like disagreement was, or is it the
Yeah.
people kind of by the well?
The people up to the north, right by the like infirmary, yeah, they're the ones who are wanting to get food from inside the keep, basically, and
Should we tell them?
the guard is not letting them in.
We should tell them that we have 2 horses worth of meat being butchered as we speak.
Yeah, that's a lot of meat.
There's a lot of horse.
Which
It's
is
essential. It's essential that we make sure that everybody has the maximum amount of nutrition to be able to fight this war. Like, we must be efficient. Obviously,
Sure,
for efficient, everybody will agree. Like,
Sure,
starts marching.
Follows you. Both out of a modicum of concern and also agreement with you.
It's like, at this point, it's hard to tell if it's like, does he just have a concussion? Like, the way he's kind of just walking around and like being like, okay, I'm in a fort. I don't know exactly how I got here, but I'm gonna secure it, and I'm gonna make sure it's doing like, it's like.
I mean, as far as Ed can tell, you are some kind of a noble, holy warrior, even if you don't believe it yourself. You take your job seriously, and And also, you understand me, so I don't have to be trapped inside of my own head if you're within line of sight of me.
What a gift.
And as Scar walks by, this war priest guarding the door of the infirmary just sort of like bows and says, "Good work with the door."
Somebody had to do it.
Just clearly wearing clerical vestments, but also heavy armor and two-handing a warhammer.
Yeah, no, that guy looks like he walked directly out of Diablo to do work.
I have a question.
That's not a complaint, by the way. That's
Yes.
just
Average hospital security guard.
June.
That's-
June, question.
Like a request for interaction, if possible, with just out of character for briefness or brevity. Do I know if the corpse down there was a friend of the man who is standing in the formerly fine clothes that are tattered?
Yeah, you can ask him about it.
Did I get his name? Did anyone get his name?
I didn't say a name. He introduces himself as Gregor, or like Gregor.
Gregor Jeff. My sweet Gregor Jeff. Okay, so I will approach him also just above table because the chat lags a little bit. I moved my character using the Alt key so you can do the fine movement. And it was like, whee!
what will happen. It will attempt to escape from you once in a while.
But
boldly charging for its freedom.
Well met, Gregor. I am known as Spheria, former daughter. I am a servant of Freya, and the Great Mother wishes me to bring health and healing and mending to this place. Can I ask you about the poor man over there?
It's a woman, by the way, but yeah.
My condolences, loss of your compatriot.
Oh, thanks. I just met her recently. We had a wagon and extra space, and we just said, "Get in the wagon. We're going to the fort," and we wouldn't have made it without her. She could actually bring the fight to him. But just one woman with the sword. I mean, what are you gonna do against an army? And they're, the fighting should be at the front, but they just keep coming out of the ground. How are we ever gonna? Look at this place is breaking apart. What are we gonna do?
Fear not. The light and love and life provided by Freya has taught me a great lesson about keeping our hearts hale. Even when things look dire, there is always something to look forward to, even in times of war. And even in death, Freya can offer you, or rather her, a gentle repose. I shall ensure that she is properly cared for and given final rights. Even if you only knew her for a moment, I am sure that your time spent together was meaningful, and I will honor that.
Yeah, she saved us.
She will be getting a warrior's funeral.
That's the best you can get in this world, I guess. I thank you. I don't know about the God stuff, but I'm glad your God brought you here. Even if they're pretty useless for other stuff.
I am only here because my God brought me here. But I digress. And do I need to do a medicine check for this? I want to see if how the homie is.
Yeah, it seems like he's not at full health, but he has, he's bandaged and stable.
Does he have anything like a sling or staves? Like, does he have a obviously broken arm or anything?
Yeah,
or
he's
leg?
wearing a sling and he has just like a big bandage on his head.
I will. I don't know. Do you guys remember in the Dune movie Denis Villeneuve made where Dr. Yue kind of like stuck his thumb on what's his face's forehead to like they can do that thing where they can check your vitals.
Yeah.
Steve Atreides.
Steve Atreides. I want to do something like that, just like a gentle press of a thumbprint to his forehead, and kind of gently close my eyes, and I will use my once per day cure wounds on the homie.
At first he flinches like, oh, what are you? Oh, thank you.
May the light and love guide you.
I feel so much better.
I just gave him fucking 18 HP. Holy shit!
Honestly, this is the most good aligned either of our characters have been in a really fucking hot minute.
This may very well be anyone like this selfless, frankly.
I've been playing sociopaths for about the last 6 months straight, and this is a nice breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
It's nice
yeah.
to have emotions that don't center on myself.
I am an ASMR, so like I guess it's kind of an angel core behavior to do such things.
Absolutely.
Although I guess you guys know that now above table, but there will be a way. Maybe we'll do some rune frog.
Yeah, weird juice. We had already
Weird
named it.
juice. That's right.
Weird juice.
Brought to you by Coca-Cola.
They're against
This is
doing
the-
weird juice. I feel like Tyr would just kind of be like, dude, you don't have to, but you're kind of a pussy if you don't.
See, I want to make a joke about Coca-Cola where it's like the 1890s one where they're like, George, yes, what is it, Frank? They say we can't put it in the formula anymore.
Cowards! Who said that? The FDA. Shoot them!
Well, if this
Shoot
is,
them with your gun!
he just takes his hat off and stomps on it. Well, if this is just a boffo day.
Moving on from this
Moving
sketch,
on.
though.
Wonderful. So I bid Gregor. I bid Gregor farewell, and I ask that someone let me know where the body is, and so that I may do the religion on it.
It's
and then
it's inside the gate.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Tom's character
Should I-
seems like the type of person who just drags someone inside and leaves it there.
Yeah.
Well,
Literally, like he picked it up, like got it in, and then just like threw it to the side. It's just
Like
walked away.
I did the work. Someone clean this shit up.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Burn that.
I will do the backup and gently walk towards the body. And we haven't talked about heights or weights or anything.
True.
Yeah, we haven't.
I did sort of drop the ball on letting y'all describe yourselves, but
Oh.
we'll work
That's
it out
fine.
now.
If it makes you feel any better, Tim, I don't know that I thought of it until just now either. The
This
only
is like section 0.5. There's plenty of time.
I'm just a stout.
Sure.
I just want to be. I'm a stout enough person that I am able to shift my shield to my back, and I. What am I going to do with my quarterstaff? I'm going to just place it against the wall because I
Mhm.
have no fear that I won't be able to come get it later. And I just pick her up like you're taking your wife through the threshold. Except she's alive. I'm going to stop talking now. I'm just going to.
Carrying your dead wife through the threshold.
So,
That's
Do we wanna
that's a
take this
freaky
moment?
movie.
do
Sorry,
we want
what-
to take this moment to describe our characters, or do we want to resolve what me and Tom are dealing with the horse sense?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and join you guys, and then when you're done with that, we could just use it as an in-game reason to do such a thing.
I feel like that would be a probes.
Like we didn't
Okay,
really stare at
so-
each other, you know.
I'm just gonna put this body on the GM layer, and it has been reposed and brought to the place where they dispose of such things, because, well, those of you who are in the House of Light, you would be aware there's like several steps they take to try and ensure, like if we have a body, there's several steps they take to try and ensure that it can't be raised, or if it is, it's not a very effective undead.
I like to think of it as like they're like a bunch of guys in the crow masks, and their specific sect's motto is repose and dispose.
Mm.
What was the horse's name that he said?
I think it was Daisy.
Was it Daisy? I said Daisy as a joke. I don't know.
You named the second one Daisy, so it's canon now. The first one was Rosie.
Okay.
Rosie and Daisy.
Rosie and Daisy.
And now they're dead.
And now they're dead. They're running in fields in Valhalla.
How about Bilbo
True.
Time?
They died like warriors.
He did.
True.
Can I ask briefly, as a partial retcon, what was his brief companion's name? I'm sure he knew it, and I'm sure I would have asked.
I don't know. What's a good name?
Well, it's Danish, but there's Luna, which is the moon.
Yeah, that's cool. We'll make it that. And in general, if y'all just want to like name stuff and invent certain things, if it's useful for like, like the Battle of whatever, or whatever it might be, you can sort of you have some loose free reign to define the world for sure. I forgot. Okay, so did people want to describe themselves at all, or should we just keep it rolling?
Let's see.
I mean, I think I described Scar a little bit.
Yeah,
but,
I guess you did.
He's so what you would see is just kind of somebody dressed in fairly simple clothing. Like, it's not fancy, but it's not necessarily what you'd associate with a monk. But it's more just very practical, well-worn clothing. He stands at a pretty average, like 5'10", like not particularly tall, not what you consider short. Fairly muscular, but not crazy. Like, he's not built like. It seems like he's much more light on his feet than he'd necessarily be like a bruiser kind of fighter. But his details when it comes to the face are very limited, because he is completely wrapped up, very much like the Burning Man, Fallout New Vegas. But he's got eyes and mouth, but beyond that, you can't really make out too many features. Apart from his eyes just having a very striking sense to them, but they have more detail to them that you would associate not necessarily with regular human eyes.
Interesting.
And he's, there's no sleeves near him.
So, much to the opposite of our burned monk, Sir Edgar absolutely looks like a bruiser. You haven't seen under the mask yet, but the best way that I could describe it fairly, based both on what you've seen so far and what is canon, is the face of a thug. He is a little over 6 feet tall and very, very well built. The armor that he wears it's not rusty, but it's clear that it is not as quality as it could be, as if he picked some of the less good armor off the rack so that someone else could have the better stuff. The sword that he carries is the only piece of his gear that's fairly nice. It's like I described it earlier. It is a dwarf forged executioner's sword with a flat top to it instead of a point. And the mask that he is wearing is just simple kind of brass, the same as his armor is, but it's clearly that it's there because he doesn't want people to see who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
That would leave me.
Do
I usually go on a little bit on the taller side for my women, but I think I can make her a little shorter this time and not feel too bad. I figure like riding around on a big Pegasus is, you might be doing the horse a favor. You weigh less.
It matches the Nordic vibes.
Yeah.
They seem to be tall.
I think I can comfortably make her 5'9" and feel okay about it. Because no doubt with the chain shirt and stuff, it's an additional charitably 40 pounds worth of stuff. So, well, shield probably weighs something. So, speaking of which, so basically the general kind of vibe, Tim basically got this one in one for the most part, based on the art for my magic card that I used for this one, which I can pop in the chat in a little bit for curiosity. So I should just describe what she is, and we'll do past stuff when it comes up. So what you have is, for those people who, like, I assume Edgar would know enough about Pantheon to maybe recognize some of the Freya stuff. I don't know if.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know if Scar, given what he said so far, is terribly knowledgeable in any kind of Pantheon, so I'm not going to assume. But
Probably not.
kind of what I'm going for, like color palette wise, is kind of like this was a nice blue cloak, and I assume if like the real world, blue is a difficult fabric pigment, so it was once a very nice garment, but beaten down by the sun and the rain and the snow and snow on has kind of faded it to more of a cobalt, and it's probably got some embossing of like black and red fabric, kind of like a type of brocade. Her hair is this same bright red. I thought that was really nice to have that kind of kissed by fire scarlet hair deal for a change. She has a hood, but she's had it off since you've seen her today. She carries a quarterstaff and a fairly sizable but not terribly ornate shield. Like, I reckon it would just be, a nice bit of, maybe even just like for the moment, like it might just be a big wooden one with some nice rings of steel on it to kind of support it.
I picture like a round shield with a round wooden shield with a boss in the middle, like the Viking style.
Yeah, in fact, the Breitagard card art, Maya's armor, it is a shield that kind of fits that description, so it would make sense if she had that same equipment.
That is pretty fucking good.
So yeah, she's got clearly like a cloak and some robes. She's probably, she's dressed kind of nice and comfy and warm. I'm gonna give her some really some nice boots, because you gotta have nice boots, baby.
Well, and those are the first things that wear out, so they get changed, they get updated more often, so they can be newer.
Yeah, I wish it was possible for me to have like, some my Valkyrie boots or something, which I assume are like super special nice or whatever. But I get why I don't get to have. If Samus has to get all of her upgrades every Metroid game, then so do I.
Oh well, I mean, if you want to say they're like lightly enchanted to not wear out, like that's like basically a common magic item.
I got mending too, I guess, so we can kind of.
Well, mending is mending is like if it rips, or like if a crack or a gap appears on a thing. Anyway, we can say the boots are super well maintained if that's a cool thing.
Cool.
for you.
I'm picturing the type of boots of a length that are really appropriate for riding horses too. They're probably mostly covered by the cloak, but
Yeah.
you know, if I run and cross a leg, maybe you see that the boots go up further than, you know, the ankle or the calf.
Well, and one form of Valkyrie magic is bestowing your flight on the horse you're riding.
No.
So you basically get the horse's speed, but give it the ability to fly instead of you.
Mm-hmm. Which is also cool because, you know, as an ASMR, I can, at third level and beyond, I can actually do the same thing.
Well, you yourself can fly. I could add, but we could add that to your Valkyrie power list once you hit a higher level. That'd be cool.
So then I guess the last thing I'll just point out is probably the most obvious thing that a person would look at, whether they're couth or not, is my face. It is, you know, I think beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but I think it would be, I'm going for something in this case that's, you know, like it, no matter how pretty I was, it's the type of injury that definitely makes you kind of do a double take. And like, you may not even be trying to be rude, but I want it to be something that's like, oh, okay, shit. Like, you know, like pretty meaningful scar. So
you've seen some shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, my background being what is it?
Haunted one?
Haunted one.
Nice.
Yeah. It is explained in that background that you are, people can tell. But anyway, Tim was able to find a really cool eye patch, and that covers the eye that is missing some of the damage that are around that on the orbital itself. But what it can't cover, and you can tell that Furia has made no attempt to cover, is this like group of 3 stretched claw marks that just go across the face from like the orbital back to the ear. When I'll say like at some point a breeze passed by and the hair moved, and you can see that there isn't an ear on that side either. So she basically lost an ear, a good chunk of skin on her face, and an eye. And that's definitely something that like she would forgive you if you thought you were staring. She would not take umbrage at that, if that makes sense. And you've been able to tell that her disposition is, you know, kind and selfless, and generally kind of as least self-absorbed as I can possibly
that's
role play.
Extremely hot. Oh, ow, oh, ow. I'm disconnecting the charger for a moment because it is burning up.
Oh, shit. You might need a new charger soon.
Yeah, no, seriously. Okay, hey, careful. Up.
You must only touch this charger while wearing protective gear.
It smells good, at least.
I know, I hate that. I like that smell.
No, I just mean more like good as in it's not like not a burnt. The components are fine. It'll need to cool off, but
okay, cool.
It's good. Good catch though, because that could be sending higher or lower amperage to my device's battery than it should. Anyway, sorry that took me forever to read out, but I like this lady a lot.
Good.
And I've also noticed that because I'm drinking, I have way more of my brain activity.
Good character design. All right, but now, Furia will show up slightly later in this scene because she was doing dead body things. Not looting, just requisitioning unused assets for the military effort. So yeah, we'll start with Scar and Sir Edgar approaching this situation.
Hell yeah.
And we probably have enough for like another few scenes before we wrap up. But,
sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, you just see the group of people, you know. A lot of the people are just like, they seem more resigned, but the more spirited, like refugees or, you know, just displaced people or whoever they are, taking refuge here. The more spirited ones are demanding provisions.
And he just kind of turns and signs. Edgar just kind of turns and signs to Scar. You're up.
Right. All right. So I mean, I guess we'll just approach, kind of see what kind of the tail end of whatever the most immediate or the most recent sort of request is from the group, the lively group.
Well, yeah, they're just like the guy is saying. Oh, the Lord is just hoarding all the food away, isn't he? He never cared for us. We should just break the door down. And the guard says, let me look at my notes for a second. I forget the guard says, Lord Roderick's men will not allow such a thing to happen. You should have more sense than that. We don't have the resources for infighting. Why don't you just behave like all the other people? So really neither side is budging too much. The peasants are disgruntled and the guard is steadfast in her duty.
All right. let's settle down.
Sir Edgar just whistles loudly to get everyone's attention. I'm assisting on whatever check he makes.
The guard turns to Scar. It's like, look, there's no food for you. You have to wait like everyone else.
Do I look hungry to you?
I mean, everyone's hungry, aren't they?
I'm hungry for combat. Fighting the undead, but unfortunately, in order to be able to satiate my hunger for that, I have to make sure that behind me is well enforced and not going to crumble away. Otherwise, we are only as strong as our weakest link, and right now I'm looking at quite a bit of weakness around here. You as a guard, undoubtedly math is going to be one of those subjects where you can count that there's far more of these hungry, desperate people than there are people in the way of you immediately being in danger. So a little bit of manners will go a long way on that front.
So much.
Then you, sir, you just saw a good cart over there just barely make it. 2 good horses gave their lives to get these people in, and upon your reflection, you're actually going to be able to eat your words by. We've got quite a bit of horse to go around, so for the immediacy, you will be your hunger will be satiated, but riling people up and demanding action will only get you. And he kind of points at the one who is kind of like, we should make this only get you the wrong kind of attention in this location. And our goal is for everybody here to survive and for the enemy to be beaten back. But if one of us is not 100% on this goal, we will fail and we'll all die. And I, for one, would prefer that outcome not be the most likely. But if you want to die, that's on you. I mean, it's not. I won't lose any sleep over your choices.
You're saying all this to the peasant guy?
Yeah, well, it's kind of to the crowd.
Yeah, the crowd
thing. Like,
yeah.
Singling him out for being like, hey, saying let's kill them and take it is not cool. But it's kind of a lecture to the whole area that we're in danger. We're trying our best, but also pointing out that there is horse over there to eat. But also the guards that there's more of these hungry people, and if you mistreat them, you know, even if ultimately you'll win, you're the first dude. You're right in line. So you know,
Yeah.
you would be the guy who would die. Is this a hill that you want to die on?
Yeah,
kind
and
of
like
laying it on in those words.
the really uppity guy, he's just got this like crappy wooden spear, and it's like he wouldn't get far at all, but that's just how hungry he is, pretty much. The guard says, Lord Roderick has generously offered the safety of this castle, and once we have factored in the new people to the ration schedule, you will all have your turn. Go ahead and roll insight. Whoever wants to.
Absolutely.
Insight.
Okay, that is.
Oh, cool. That is I got a 22.
23 for me. Hell yeah, buddy.
I was about to roll 2d8 for insight, like that doesn't do anything.
I mean, it might mean something to someone in a different campaign setting.
So
I suppose in a game that uses d8s, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Furia, with your 8, it's like, oh yeah, rationing seems like a wise strategy. With both of your really high rolls, it's like, yeah, there is some truth that the Lord will give a port, or it's like something. She's not being fully honest. Like, you get the sense that there will be food for some people, but it might not be.
Right. There's a
as much.
reevaluation happening. Yeah, but it's not going to be a benefit to the.
Yeah, you can kind of see through like the party line that there's going to be an amount of food, but they're only going to give as much as they need to, kind of.
I just rolled a history on Lord Roderick. If you wouldn't mind resolving it.
Sure.
Hell yeah.
Crit, so that's good.
Yeah,
Sure.
Lord Roderick is of House Greenvale. His homeland of Greenvale is full of lush forests and it's a land of plenty and bounty. And as a result, he's gained great wealth and prestige, and has even, as his guards will say, out of the kindness of his heart, has opened many of his castles for everyone to use. Not every lord has done this. So he does some good in the. He's like a rich person now. He does enough good in the world to come across positively to a lot of common folk, but he's still part of a ruling class that is squeezing that is like taking the best resources for themselves.
Right.
As a result, the Greenvale Guard is a pretty robust military force. And they're pretty well organized. So the guards are more disciplined than you might see in under other lords, because it's more of a substantial military organization.
Right.
Would I know anything beyond the gratitude that we should have for the castles and the keeps? Is he generally known to be like? If it's like, is it like a 50-50? He does it because he's like cool and good, working within the system kind of capitalist guy, or is this like I'll do a little bit more than is necessary because it makes me look good?
Probably like 50-50.
Okay.
Or yeah, somewhere near there. He's all right, but he still thinks he's better than you, kind of.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, he is highborn. What would you expect?
Yeah. And you, with your 20 roll, you also know his wife is Lady Berna.
Okay.
and
Oops, that's not
you know they have it's sort of a ward, but he's now grown up. His name is Sir Harvin. His house was his lands and house are all gone. They were one of the earlier noble houses to be destroyed, and so like over the last 10 years, he's grown up with Lord Roderick and Lady Berna, and they sort of raised him as their own. They also raise some of the best horses, because there's lush forests, but there's also grasslands in Greenvale.
We're about to find out how good the horses they raise are.
Well, those horses came from this vale, or how far did Gregor travel? I didn't find that out.
They were probably pretty local. Basically, they were going to the closest fort they could find as their village was being burned.
No, we're eating some high quality horsey tonight. From HQH. So does our informing them of this delicious protein packed meal disperse the crowd?
I would say so. That that they just the sound of hearing word of any food. Everyone except the old lady runs over there, and the old lady slowly walks over there.
And as he goes to turn around and follow the group back, Sir Edgar makes a point of kind of getting close enough to be within earshot, and as he's turning, I'm going to just say he quotes scripture at her and goes, "Let none who enforce the law ever forget. Enforcing an unjust law will not protect you from Tyr." And just walks off before she has a chance to respond.
Arf. Yeah.
Some thumbs, buddy?
No, I just did a burp.
Okay. He goes over to get his personal portion of horse and throw his horsion and throw his potato from his stack of daily potato in the inevitable communal stew that will be brewing.
Now, Ward.
I specifically asked for that item and paid 4 gold out of my inventory to have it.
Tom, a game I ran, Rob played a character named Ward who was very Irish.
Offensively Irish. I've been told if I put that accent around a real Irish person, they'd be justified in whooping my fucking ass.
You tend to be.
I'm very enthusiastic with my accents.
I do love.
No worries.
I would like to greet the guard. You guys could have also seen this as I walked up, but I was favoring my quarterstaff on the ground a little bit more. I am very tired. If either of you are practicing Arcana and noticed it, you could probably roll to see, and probably understand, I have drained my magical spirit. I'm basically tapped out once per days in spells. Actually, Tom, I didn't ask if you were, because we didn't talk about our classes, so I don't know if you're a caster at all. Are you?
No, I'm a monk.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I did know you were a monk. Above table.
And not the casting. Oh, well, yeah. No one has a subclass yet, so not the casting kind for now.
I would just kind of thank the guard for her time. You know how when you salute a cop or wave at him, not so much like bootlick vibes, but more like, this is a woman who respects order and soldiers and stuff. And guards are just doing their job. So I'm not gonna spend a lot of time doing it, but I just want to kind of and I'm gonna Scooby down this way.
As you walk past this room, that someone walks through the doorway, and you just see inside. There's people. There's people trying to sleep. Like sleep, it can be scarce in these times. So a bunch of people just sort of holed up in this storage room, try to get away from the noise and the light.
Is anybody cold looking, or is everybody?
It's not super cold out right here, right
Okay.
now in this region. So they seem all right. I mean, they're laying on like stone, but they are making do.
Are there any chilbrums or?
Yeah.
I will give the children my blanket to share if possible.
Sure, you can do that. Yeah, there's a couple of children huddled up by the door, and you can give that.
Great. I will sort of kneel down and can I give? I want to give him some rations too. I could give my
Yeah, if you want.
if they're hungry anyway. If they're hungry anyway, I suppose I can get more
Yeah, pretty
rations.
much
later.
everyone's hungry,
Yeah.
so you can do that if you want.
Would a day's ration be able to feed this room when the prospective people wake up? It looks like there's.
I mean, they could split the rations for a person. Like, think of the amount of food one person eats in a day.
Yeah.
Split amongst those people.
I will give the children I will give the children my blanket. I will give them one ration, and I will say, now do your best. Split this remaining one with everyone else when they wake up, okay? I kind of have like a different voice for children when I'm like, I kind of become a little bit more casual.
Yeah, and they say, yes, ma'am. Thank
Very
you.
good.
And then they just start hungrily devouring some of the food.
Now remember to chew. Cool. Well, I feel like I did some more good deeds up in this bitch.
Good job.
I can loan them my water skin so that way they don't choke on bread, but I'll need the skin back.
Okay. So I think we're getting pretty close to 11. I think we've done a lot of stuff. Any like final short things anyone wants to handle or describe or do?
Not really. I will say when we do get to a point in the day where we eat, you do finally see what Edgar's face looks like, and I think I sent that to Tim. I'll just forward that to this chat. Give me a second. No, it's up here somewhere. Did I get it right? There we are. Ooh. I know it's Hero Forge, and it is mediocre at best in that regard.
I was just
That's
really
all right.
excited to get the mask that you wanted out of it.
Oh yeah, no, they had that one. They put it in a couple of months ago, and I have just been waiting to use it.
Oh, cool. Okay, so we
Crap.
got a little bit. We're all a little bit fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I still haven't decided what caused that yet, but I
There you go.
did add that.
Caleb.
Good thing he doesn't talk, because he would not sound very clear.
No, he does not talk very much for a good reason, and it's also why his speed is so slow. He's got to really make an effort to form his words correctly.
Just now looking at your eyes, I should have described that too. I kind of want to. I'd like my irises to be kind of like the way that Starlight has them on the boys, just like this ring of gold. Like this
Yeah.
Yeah, and like it flares up when you use your magic.
I do kind of love that.
Yeah, my eye is a little dimmer than it was this earlier this afternoon.
There was a light in your eyes that is barely there now.
I'm kind of moving at like half speed, and it was like, I hope that horse is good.
Edgar is just standing next to you, and without even looking, just silently hands you a piece of beef jerky out of his pack.
The light of Freya, thank you.
And crumpled up with it is a piece of paper that says, "You have to remember to eat." And eat is like underlined 3 times.
Yeah,
Low blood sugar is no joke.
a brief injection of anime bullshit where she just has, just like just kind of like, yeah, you're right.
I'm very much enjoying this character can only communicate through sign language and post-its.
You're doing quite well. That's my favorite thing is that Rob has managed to put in ASL into a game. Great job.
Yeah. I always love more inclusion and doing stuff about disability stuff. So yeah, and not that Sir Edgar is disabled, but just that, representation of sign language. Good shit.
I mean, he has it's not a cleft palate, but he does have a cleaved
True.
palate.
He at least has a speech impediment. So that's
Absolutely.
valid. There are people who have trouble speaking and rely on sign language for that too. So
I mean there is a criminal gang that's very angry at him. I'll give you that.
That thing where they stuck one in here and they're like, and then you didn't say what they wanted, and then he goes,
Yeah, that definitely feels above board, very accurate. What was your favorite thing for yourself?
Yeah, for myself, I am really pleased that I am already finding the fun with Cleric. I think it is a little maybe stereotypical to pick the one that's like heals, but at the same time, both this group and Star Wars and the Tuesday group, I like to heal people. It's something that I feel like I always take piloting. I always take cure wounds. I don't know. It's just stuff I do.
Yeah,
Having the opportunity to on that is, I think, going to be really beneficial for everybody. And I also am proud of myself for doing RP in a consistent manner, where like I got out that kind of tone and was able to stick to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And being nice to people as much as she was it does make you feel good to not have to be like up some shade or
it's like playing Knights of the Old Republic and you do all the good things.
exactly.
Yeah, no, because you do an evil quest one time and it's the wrong evil quest to do, and you get real sad and reload a save.
Yeah, hell, Rockman and had to kick a can at a thing for 50 times before your armor gets black.
So I guess for myself, I really, again, it's the same kind of thing as what June said in a bit of a different direction. I love having to be creative with how I'm communicating, because it really actually kind of facilitates me not being an asshole, because I have to choose specifically the words that I say, or even the words that I write when I do that. And I just I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with it, and I am so excited to get into combat with this character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For someone else, I gotta give it up to Tim. This is already, we are half a session in. Everybody threw curveballs at you with this, with both the party makeup, because I know just enough about Miles' character to be concerned. I know enough about her to be very concerned. And me, Tom, and June were we weren't silly, but we were peculiar.
Yes.
And you rolled with fucking all of it, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
So hats off to you,
Yeah,
buddy.
thanks. Yeah,
Yeah, welcome back. We've missed you.
yeah, I had a lot of fun working on this. While I was doing it, I was like, I'm pretty much making like a Skyrim town.
Hell yeah.
And I love that. Like, I'll have like the whole vision for the game, but then, when I actually sit down and start making stuff, I'm like, okay, but what's actually happening right here specifically? So yeah, I really enjoyed putting the map together, coming up with all these different characters. I appreciate everyone sort of helping build the world in the ways that they are, and engaging with the hooks. I'll say a particular shout out to Tom for the running out of the gate, grabbing the body, doing the doing. Yeah, it was cool, and it helped like define the character of like, this is a guy who will just run out and do the crazy thing, and like save everyone, but be a little bit reckless. It's like, they're already dead. What are you doing? But like, he's like, no, the people in here need to eat.
Yeah, it is very practical.
But yeah, I enjoy Scar, and I just like I like seeing how everyone reacts to. There's a giant army of evil, and like the character choices they make in that context. But yeah, I guess you're the last one, Tom.
The caboose. All right. Well, I mean, I'm enjoying being a monk. I think just the premise in general is kind of a cool. It's kind of one of those fun things of like an undead war. It's kind of like a zombie apocalypse scenario in a way, but with a twist of it being crusades as well, makes kind of it makes you build kind of interesting things. So I'm excited to kind of expand from that. But I really liked the fact that even I doubt it was planned as much, but just that as soon as I stepped out, there was kind of set up for Scar to have his moment of kind of showing very reckless but practical. It's in the end of the day, it was risking one person to feed the entire garrison. Or it was just to him instant, wouldn't have even batted an eye. And if he had been horribly killed, it would have just been what you do. Which is why he tied the horse off, which is the more of the priority than the person. So like if he had fallen, like the horse could have theoretically gotten pulled in. Like I built a character that the premise of it being a religious war, having these parties that are kind of from noble houses. I was like, oh, let me build a character that goes away from all of that, but at the same time has the goals are completely aligned to the point that there's no other logical, the most logical thing would be to work with these people for the goal, even though he has nothing of kind of interest when it comes to what they stand for, apart from killing undead. That part he loves and thinks is perfect. But overall, I think everybody's bringing fun stuff, but I'm excited for the game, which I think the credit should go to Tim for that, for setting up a fun scenario.
Yeah, thanks. I love the sort of the juxtaposition. Like I love thinking about logistics in like a war situation, and but I also love demons and undeads. So I'm like, I'm sort of having the realism side of all these different groups of slightly different opinions, and they're arguing about it, even though they all want the big evil to go down. So like sort of it's almost like you have the like internal conflict and external conflict, and the external conflict forces the situations of the internal conflict occurring, because just by nature of all these different people crunching together, it's just there's just going to be different ideas and different things. But no one can be like, you're wrong for fighting. You know, like even all the nobles and all the common folk and all the whoever it is can always say, well, it's good that you're fighting the war. It's sort of an interesting,
It creates a
cultural
really cool
clash.
I didn't really get the trigger to do it today, but in my sheet that I sent you, Tim, I should have also thought for long-term goals that unless someone else is already explicitly going to do this, I think I would like to be involved in figuring out, like imagine in a 40K situation, someone wants to know what part of the warp got torn, you know? Like I would like to be that character who is not just interested in healing these people and mending their things, but possibly mending the rift should there be one. You know, I could see my character being the type that might be like, only I can do this. I will seal this thing. If it kills me, I will be with my mother, kind of thing.
Yeah, well, and as a planar creature, you're definitely set up to be like someone others will look to be like, do you know how this, like, yeah, so like, yeah, the long-term idea of the game is to sort of get to the bottom of the issue, but the first bit of the game is basically just going to be stopping the bleeding, and seeing who survives to to rise to the top.
As a brief aside, I hope I didn't mess up the chat by filling that stuff in there, but
No,
for some reason, I thought it might be good for the other folks. And I can always, you know, I can just look back up there if I have to.
Yeah, that's cool. It's kind of cool too. The audience can sort of just refer to that.
It's definitely helpful to have, and like it's not as though it's difficult to scroll back to check rolls. It's honestly, I think it's a nice compromise for note taking, because it puts it in a way that's accessible for everyone.
Yep.
And it can be done while still interacting with the game.
I think I'm also just gonna try to do like I did today and just kind of like people and the results of rolls that I have, and I'm not gonna use the chat to like write down all of my personal thoughts or whatever. I'm just gonna limit it to this. In fact, you can even, the best part is forensically you can tell. It's like, oh, there was a 23, and then I wrote what you told me. I stopped.
Yeah, and yeah, we all see it right there. All right, but let's find a raid. I think, yeah, screw it. We'll go back to Middle Age Stream again. That's always a fun time over there. Yeah, and so yeah, as we wind down the stream, we hope you had fun. Hope you're able to laugh, even if it was at our expense. We hope that if anything's weighing on you, it feels a little lighter after hanging out online with friends. And until next time, bye.